Like any good art journaler out there, I am still on the hunt for a good white marker, white pen that I can use in my journaling, because lately I've been enjoying working on some darker backgrounds and using my stencils to doodle, and I've been having trouble finding a good white pen. So I happened to go to Hobby Lobby this week and I picked up some of these, I think they're called they're gel pens. The Jelly Roll Classics White, and they are in two different sizes of medium line, a 0.8 millimeter and a 0.4 millimeter. So I grabbed a pack of these to give these a test. And then I saw they had the Letter It medium pens in white from Ranger, so I picked up that. It says this one is in broad tip and fine tip. And then from my stash, what I've already tried working with, which is the Delusions white linen. And when I can get this one to work, I do love working with it. I know a lot of people have trouble getting it pumped right and primed right, and I will say I've broken 2 of them so far, but I keep rewatching Diane's videos to learn how to do it right. And then also I've played with the Posca pens. This is a thicker one, and this is a smaller one, and these I get on Amazon because they're hard to find here in the States. So I figured while I'm on the hunt, why not share it with you guys? So what I have to work on today is I have all these pens to try, and then I have some black cardstock from Ranger to try it on. I have a black Dylusions size 10 tag to try it on. And then I have one of the small Dylusions journals that I had painted a page black. So this is just black acrylic paint to see how they work on this. And then of course I have my black Dylusions journal, so we can mess with a page in here. Alright, so first off, let me grab out one of the jellies. And they actually are both the same size. So this is a Sakura brand jelly roll pen. And I'm going to grab out one of the Letter It pens. And they are sealed very well, of course. So let me get this open and I'll be right back. Alright, so I have one of the Letter It pens. I have my Dylusions and my Poscas. Alright, first, let us take a look at the standard Dylusions journal with a page painted just black. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prime. This is the Delusions white linen. I'm just going to gently hold it down and get it primed. And this may take me a minute, so once I have it primed, I'll go ahead and I'll keep going for you guys. Okay, so it took me a minute, but I have it primed. So I'm just going to go ahead and do some circles. So this is the Dylusions white linen. And it's still, I think my pen is kind of running out. So you guys can see that's how it wrote on there. It's kind of coming out a little bit faded, but the more I use it, and you have to hold it straight upright. If you point it to the side, it won't work. So let's just do some more circles. And the more I doodle, the more the ink starts to come out. And now you can see it's activated and I'm really getting some better lines. So I do like to use this one when it will cooperate for me. So that is the Delusions white linen on this journal page. Now I'm just going to take the heavy Posca pen and show you what that looks like. Now the thing I find with the white Posca is at first it seems good, but as it dries, it fades. And it'll fade to a light gray in the background and your white won't be as strong. So this one is the PC5M.1, so I think that's a 5 millimeter, yeah. 1.8 to 2.5 millimeter. This is the thicker Posca pen. We'll try the thinner Posca pen. This one is the PC3M. And it's got a thinner line, but again, I'm just not getting that vibrant white that I'm looking for. There you go. Because it's already starting to fade to like a grayish color. Alright. Now for the two I've never used before, the Letter It medium pen from Ranger. And maybe this isn't a white pen. You know what? This actually might be. Well guys, that's a first for me. So what I didn't realize when I bought these in the store is I saw a white cap and I figured, oh, they're white pens. They're not. And if I'd known more about the line, they're embossing pens. So this is a clear for embossing. So I'm going to hold on to these to use with my Versamark pen also. So, not white pens, although by looking at it, and now I see under medium pen it says clear ink, so that's my bad, guys. Alright, so then we only actually have, to compare to the Delusions and the Posca, this jelly roll, which is a Sakura. So let's see. Ooh. Now I know with these sometimes you can't go too fast, but that is giving me a really nice, good white. You see that? That is giving me a nice, good white. And I know that with the jelly rolls sometimes they'll cut out if you start going too quick with them, like that. See? I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's kind of like spacing a bit. And then the test is, look at that. It's not really rubbing off. So that's good. So on a painted background, so far out of all four of these, the Jelly Roll 08 by Sakura showed up the best on the black background. Alright, let's go to our next substrate. That is so funny about the clear pens, guys. Alright, so this is a piece of the Ranger cardstock. Now this is what I use in my stencil storage, and I'm always looking for something to write the name of my stencils. So again, I'm going to start with my Dylusions. And that one worked okay, but as you can see, it's starting to fade a little on the black paper. So let's go with the Posca. Not bad, but now already it's fading into the background. It's giving you some white, but it's fading to gray. So it starts out bright and then it fades down. There you go, guys. So let's try the Jelly Roll. So the jelly is not bad. I just like to move quick, so I just have to go a little slower than I normally do, and it works well. Let's see if I can do some circles. So yeah, again, the Jelly Roll works out best on that. I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, sorry about that. I had to pause the video because the garbage guys were here and they were pretty loud outside my studio. So, we have checked my journal that's painted, and we did this Ranger cardstock, and so far the Jelly Roll is the one that is showing up the whitest and the cleanest. You just gotta go slow with it. So now let's real quick we'll go over and look at a tag. Now this is one of the Black Delusions tags that I have done Distress Oxide on. So I was curious to see how things would react with the Distress Oxide. And what I want to do is just kind of like a fun little border stitch look. So I'm going to take the Jelly Roll and see how it works over top of it. I'm going to give it a second to dry. And it rubs, it almost, nope, it's not rubbing off. So that is actually working well on here. Let me try a circle here. Just some little doodles. And that looks good on here too. So the Jelly Roll one works really well on top of it. I'm going to go ahead and make sure my Delusions is primed again. There we go. And then I'm going to attempt to do some of that stitching stuff along here. Hope you guys can see this. I'm not blocking it too bad. So when the Delusions is primed, I get a much thinner line and it still looks like the jelly line. So that still is working well. And then if I want to just put some doodles, and let's just outline this. See, and now my pen's given up a little bit on top of the Delusion, on top of the Distress Oxide, but look. So that worked well, and it's not rubbing off. So the jelly, the jelly roll and the Dylusions white do work well on top of the Distress Oxides on the black Dylusions paper. Excuse me, allergies season. Now I'm just gonna, real quick along the bottom here, in case I don't like it, I'm just gonna try to do a zigzag with the Posca, and let's see how it does. It's only fading a little. It's not too bad, but it's still not that crisp white that we get with the other ones. And the narrow ones, see, they start out very white and then they slowly start to fade into the background. But the thinner one didn't do too bad. It kind of held its white on here. So when it's not on just the black, it does hold well. I'm wondering, yeah, that one's working well. Okay, so on the Dylusions tag with Distress Oxide laid down, not just the black tag, the jelly worked well, the Dylusions worked pretty good, and the thinner Posca pen came out pretty clean. So that's good to know. Now last but not least, we have our fabulous Dylusions journal. So we know typically in our Dylusions journal, Diane's stuff works fabulously. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a nice smooth scribble down the side. Make a nice little border. Oops, and I'm sorry, I'm using the jelly roll, guys. Grabbed the wrong one. So that worked beautifully on there. It's not rubbing, it's only rubbing off a little if you don't let it dry. So now I'm going to grab my Dylusions and go around the inside. And again, I've used this one a lot, so it's kind of got some, it's missing in some spots. So that was the Dylusions. Here comes the thick Posca pen. And it's fading into the gray. And then here comes the thin Posca pen. That starts out very white. And is staying a bit whiter than the thicker version. Okay, so I think overall, if I have to rank these guys, my favorite still is always the Dylusions white linen when I can get it working. My, I think, new go-to is going to be this Jelly Roll 08 Sakura pen, and I'll be sure to try to find it online for you guys and link it below. Then the thin Posca, and then if I have to, the thicker Posca, knowing that it's not going to hold the white well. So I hope this video just kind of helped you with your buying options. If you guys have any recommendations on pens you use and love, please leave them below in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. I like doing these little tutorials now and testing things and seeing how they work and sharing them with you guys. So thanks so much for watching. Go ahead and give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you want to see other product reviews, leave a comment below. I love to hear that feedback. And I'll see you all soon. Thanks.